You asked, I delivered. Today I'm going to introduce you to my new podcast, Ask Jenni. I just want to get you some of the feels, introducing myself as a coach, as a business owner, as a wife, as a mother. Join me as we continue this journey of growth together. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Day one, I talked about me. Day two, I kind of tried to snatch a little bit of edges. Day three, I want y'all to, I'm trying to have fun with this decaf. It's not really hitting, but it is very much so better than when I was pregnant with Cass. So almost 6 years ago, I tried decaf because they were like, you're not supposed to have so much coffee. And it was terrible. It was disgusting. And I was like, this kid just gonna have to deal with it. But I'm trying it again. Let me do my thing. But today I want to hear from you guys. I want to kind of check the temperature, see where you are, see what type of things that you're already currently doing. And then I might snatch your edges one more time. Just one more time, let you know what's right, what's wrong, why it's wrong to do what you've already been currently doing. But if you're on here right now, just first drop in the comments if you have a business. Just put business if you have a business. Put not yet if you're working on a business. And put not ever if you're here just to, get some financial literacy and you want to make sure that you are growing and going. Hey, Jenni. Hey, Corzy. Okay. All right. We got some businesses. So I'm talking to my business owners. Again, let me know if you don't have a business yet. Put not yet in the comments. If you know you're never going to have a business, you're just here for financial literacy, just say no. But I see we have a few businesses in here, so that's definitely who I'm targeting. That's who I'm going to be talking to today. Again, talk back, okay? I'm nice. I want to hear you. I want you to talk to me. So this one is a tactical advancement in how you've been doing things. That's what we're talking about today. Like, how often are you checking your account? What does it mean? Who does it say you are? Why is it killing you? All right. And so I just want to start off with checking your bank account every day. It's bad. Okay. So you probably like, no, you got to make sure, Let me digress by saying, I encourage you to check your transactions. I have notifications for every single transaction going out. I want to know right then. Okay? I want to know as soon as you take your $9.99 Apple for the third time this month, I want to make sure I know what it's for. I want to make sure this is not something I need to cancel. I need that constant reflection on what's going out. Checking your bank account every day, typically for the most normal person, is not going to have that big of a difference. If you had $10,000 today, you got $9,565 today. It does not change. It's not life-changing. If you check it and it go down by $8,000 and you ain't paying no humongous mortgage or none of that type of stuff, then okay, we have a problem. But that is where your transaction history, those notifications come into play. For business and personal. And let me tell you why. If you don't have your personal stuff in order, your business will never be. Period. I don't care what you think. I don't care how careful you are with this account because it's your business, or, I just know that I really don't care about my personal stuff and that's over here, or I share an account with my husband, so I know he's going to replenish it, or, this is for my kids and I let them do what they got to do because they're away at college, or, okay, listen. If you don't have a handle on your personal finances, you're killing yourself even thinking that you got to handle on your business finances. So for personal and business, I want you to turn those notifications on. Every major banking system has notifications. Let them know I want a text message every single time something comes out of my account. That is the daily check-in. That is knowing exactly what is going out at all times. That is making sure that you are aware of what exactly needs to happen when it happens. Not 2 months down the line, not on your quarterly check-in, not after you do your taxes and you had to review all your transactions. Real time. What just came out of my account? How do I stop that? But back to checking your account daily, going in and just making sure the money's still there. What exactly are you doing? Is that money some money that carried over from last year? Is that money that you generated this week? Is that money that came in from your refund check that just got deposited? Is that money from something that don't got nothing to do with nothing? Okay? And that's why checking your account daily is doing nothing for you. Now, I would go one step further. And for my low ticket item people who are just selling, t-shirts for $20 or, cake slices of cake for $5, you probably don't want to do this. So you're going to be like, oh my God, my phone could be going off. However, getting a little cha-ching, getting a little boop with some money coming in, let me tell you how it refocuses your energy on a regular basis all day long. For me, during tax season, it's ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, I'm rich, right? But at the same time, I'm also being very, super focused on what my benchmarks are. So I know that I want to continuously hit a certain amount of money each month. So that means and I'm going to use super simple numbers, and I'm going to use big ones because we're thinking big. If I want to make $100,000 each month, and week one passed, and I made $5,000, baby, it's time to pivot. This is the time to change. Don't wait till the end of the month. Don't wait until those invoices get paid. It's time to start looking at how long it takes your clients to pay invoices, how frequently you are sending out invoices, how frequently you are generating leads, what is your follow-up process, what is the email sequence after somebody tells you they're interested in what you got. These are the things that are crucial to making sure that you're hitting those numbers. Now, your week one, you hit 25,000. You also are supposed to dive in. What did I do right? How much time did I have to put into generating leads? How long did it take from a person to say, I'm interested, for them to be closed? How long did it take from somebody shooting a DM to me saying, here go your invoice? Okay? Turn those notifications on. Y'all see this. Notifications on everything. What's going out, what's coming into those bank accounts, period. Now, once you know this, once you know how long it takes from somebody to just like a post to come and generate money into your pockets, once you know this time frame, how many people do I need to talk to in this amount of time in order to get to my benchmark for the end of the month? These are the check-ins. So daily, we're looking at every single transaction. We got notifications for everything going out. We got a cha-ching for every dollar that is spent and going into our bank accounts. We know what's happening. We're constantly motivated. We're constantly thinking. It's an immediate and constant reminder of what's happening, right? So if you see 4 or 5 notifications for things that went out and not one cha-ching, but you taking a little break, I'm gonna need you to check back in. Okay, and this little thumbs thing, I'm not really into this part of this technology. Like, just because my thumbs are up and I talk with my hands, don't mean I'm giving a thumbs up. It's giving, I don't know. Stay out my business, phone. I don't know. But I would just let it do its thing. I'm thumbsing up everything I'm saying, okay? But back to it. Transactions. We already know what we're doing on a daily basis. We're checking in with ourselves, right? And for me, I know that I could be like, close me a 5-figure deal. I'm taking a break for the rest of the day. I deserve something. And if you got that mindset, I'm going to need to make sure that mindset is set to a benchmark that is in excellence and in an abundance. Okay. So I said a 5-figure deal. So I made at least $10,000. Now I can take a break, right? But once you see those bills start coming out, once you start seeing those subscriptions, that software, that whatever start coming out of your account, and you sitting back and relaxing and it's noon, I'm going to need you to check back in. I'm going to need you to start figuring out where these leads coming from. I'm going to need you to start doing some research on how easily you made that $10,000. Where did those people come from? Did they come from your social media? Did they come from an ad you're running? Did they come from word of mouth? How did they get there? And let's do a complete breakdown of who they are. I want to know how much money they make. I want to know the color of their skin. I want to know how many kids they got. I want to know if they got a business, if it's just personal. We want to know everything, okay? So we are completely building out customer profiles as our customers are coming in, okay? So again, this is not a quarterly check-in. This is not at the end of the year thing. This is not after I have a moment to digress. No. When you close someone that you feel so motivated about working with, that you can't wait to give the results that you promised, that you are just like, this is the one. I talked to them one time for 5 minutes. They bought customer profile. Okay, so again, we're looking at a daily basis. We're doing our weekly check-in to get to our benchmarks of what we want for our revenue for the month. And we are constantly looking at what am I doing wrong if the numbers ain't mathing? Okay, and at the end of the year, when y'all come for tax season and I tell you, wow, you grossed 30% more than last year. And you say, how? I ain't see it. Where the money at? Yeah. I'm talking to all of my clients. I'm talking to you. If you are finding yourself doing that, I don't know where the money is or who made that money, or let me double check because I don't remember getting all of that. It's because of a cash flow issue. That means that the money coming in, but you're shooting it out just as fast. And when that is happening, it is time to pivot, regroup, and start to look at the dynamics of your profit loss and your cash flow. You got to have some cash flowing in to have stuff going out. And of course, we've all heard it takes money to make money, right? Almost got into a rap because I do have on a Biggie shirt, so I stopped myself. But it takes money to make money. Yes and no. It takes expertise. It takes persistence. It takes grind, it takes hustle, it takes resources, it takes information to make money. You don't necessarily got to go have a 10,000 square feet warehouse and, your entire printing press, tools and everything to make a t-shirt. First, let's see if people want this t-shirt. How about that? Let's start there. A lot of you are just piling in on, you got branding, you got marketing, you throwing out ads, you got a whole facility, you got packaging for 10 million pieces of items of clothing, and you don't even know who your target market is. You don't even know if anybody wants it. You haven't even done the market research to see who else is doing something similar so you can at least steal all of their people. The biggest and largest competitors have already done the research, which is why 10 years ago, when I opened up my brick and mortar for my tax preparation business, I didn't go just looking willy-nilly. I said, where H&R Block at? Now, where Jackson Hewitt that's real close to it too? I want to be right in the middle. Booyah. That's where I want to go. They've already looked at the demographic. They've already seen that this is a viable space. They already know the walk-in traffic. They know what's going on. So don't reinvent the wheel on certain things. You want to focus more on your differential advantage than you do on being the number one. I'm going to be the number one sales in my t-shirt. Possibly, right? But we've seen t-shirts with, come on, let's just use Yeezy as an example. He make homeless clothes. He make full-blown clothes that I will give you $1 on the street if I see you wear it. $1 billion, right? But he knows the mental psyche of the person that's into him. He knows what you're thinking. He knows when he rants, what type of stuff y'all like him to say. Okay? He knows. So he already here with his consumer. But you're just starting and you've already invested all of this capital. You have no clue where the capital and revenue is going to come from. But you're just sitting in the hole. And now you're in a hole year over year over year because you want a tax credit? Because you want to take a business loss? All right. If that's your strategy, go ahead and log off right now because that's not anything I'm going to support. I am not going to support you making more purchases, spending more money just to get a tax write-off. We're strategically aligning what you already spend money on into tax deductions. Meaning switching you to an S-Corp so that your healthcare can be a write-off underneath your business versus an itemized deduction on your personal return. That's a strategy. That's a strategy. I'm not saying go out there and buy healthcare for everybody in your family so you can get a big old write-off. No, I'm saying the healthcare that you're already purchasing, that's already coming out of your account, we're going to switch it over and we're going to do it strategically out of the business so we can get a dollar for dollar breakdown. So if you are like, no, I have to generate all of this capital. I got to get a loan. Teach me business credit so I can get somebody else's money. Yes, all of these strategies are definitely something that we can utilize as you know who you are selling to. Period. Strategy is number one. So doing all the research, getting all the strategy together, all of that is fine and good. And this is definitely where I want you to start. However, I don't believe in doing anything for your business without generating funds. Meaning, I'm not saying pump your brakes on your t-shirt. I'm saying launch that sucker. Get one made. See if we can make one sale. See if we can do one order. How fast did we get that order sold? Who bought it? I'm saying do the research. Oh, here go that thumb. Oh my goodness. I'm saying do the research concurrently to generating the revenue. So daily, we're checking in on our transactions, right? We set up our notifications, right? Go ahead and drop a thumbs up or something if you set your notifications up for every transaction. I definitely want you to see everything that's going out because I want you to snatch up anything that don't look right immediately. But I also want you to get a little cha-ching, a little yep, a little ding-ding when the money coming in, okay? So setting up those transactions and being able to see those text messages in real time is number one, what you need to be doing daily. Weekly, you need to be checking in with your monthly goals. If your monthly goal, again, is $100,000 and you have not reached that $25K for the quarter of the month mark at the end of the week, it's time to regroup. The regroup, the pivot, the strategy session, the looking at all of your current clients and looking at exactly who they are and where they came from, that is not something that you do on a quarterly basis with your quarterly tax returns. That's not something you do on an annual basis with your annual tax returns. This is something that I want you looking at on a weekly basis. When you sign on a high ticket offer, I need you to have that customer profile down to a T. How long did you have to talk to them in order to generate that sale? Where did they come from? What did they look like? Who are they friends? Who are they family? What kind of income do they have? And then I want you to start talking to that person. You're building out this customer profile on a regular basis to the point that once you're 10 plus years in business like myself, I can see you coming. I know who I want to talk to. I know who I want to bump shoulders with. I know whose timeline I need to be on. So I want that for you as well. And that does not come from some willy-nilly brainstorm session at the end of the year. It doesn't come after you hire a marketing or ad agency. It comes during that first cha-ching. Where did that cha-ching come from? So setting up those notifications is something that I definitely want you doing. Going back, why checking your bank account daily is just killing you. Nothing happened. You know you ain't sold nothing. You know you ain't went to the store. You got your notifications on and you know no subscriptions came out, but it's something giving you some type of security, seeing that the money is still there. That false sense of security is also stifling your growth, because most people who are checking their account every day are not in the negative. Most people checking their account every day are not just sitting on $100, right? They're checking their accounts every day because they know they got a little bit of money in it. And they know that this money is potentially going to have to last them the next month, next 3 months, next 6 months, whatever they have in their minds. Everybody has different mindsets about this. But if you're checking your account every day just to see if the money is still there and not to see, did that next check hit? Did that last client, claim that last invoice? You're stifling your growth. Then, going back to all of this, we want to budget in percentages. And I say this often, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to give you this right now. I'm going to give you a personal and a business budget. This is because we want to operate off of our cash flows. I do not want you paying any of your bills off of last month's money. I don't want you thinking that you got it because your W-2 income got deposited into your business checking account and now it look like you got some money. I don't want you thinking about anything in totality, meaning if you got a W-2 income, you got your business income, maybe you have a pension or anything, any other source of income. You sold some stocks or you got some dividends coming in, whatever. I don't want it all going into the same pot. Because some of you just got too much money for me. And you think that because, your W-2 income is 100K plus, you're a high earner, that you're straight. So, oh man, I didn't make enough money for my payroll, but I do have the money for my payroll, so I'm doing good. No. Actually, you might need to close that business if you really look at it. So I want you to start thinking in percentages. And this is something that, of course, in my Motivated Money Systems program, we definitely coach you through this plug and play system, because I want you to look at it as often as you need to. If you know you just made $5,000, see if you made payroll. See if you made your office rent expenses. See right there. Because you plug in your gross income and then you let the percentages tell you what should be spent in each category. It's that simple. So some of you are like, budget, I don't want to cut back. Budget doesn't mean cut back. It means operate in accordance to the cash flow. So when I say budget, I'm not telling you not to get that coffee. I'm not telling you none of that little stuff. I am telling you that if you ain't made that coffee money, you can go get that coffee. That's what I'm telling you. So budgeting in percentages of your actual intake is the best way to go. So again, of course, I got the plug and play worksheet for you that we could go into later. But right now, just go ahead and make you an Excel sheet or a Google sheet right now. And I want you to start with your gross income. Let's start with the personal. For personal, 50% is your home, your car, utilities, groceries, insurance, right? 50% is like, I'm just trying to live. This is what it costs. If right off the bat, I just stopped you in your tracks because you know your car note or your house note is more than 50% of what you generated last month, take your edges off, okay? I just snatched them. You're over your head. You're living beyond your means. You try to keep up with the Joneses, don't know who Joneses are. You are nowhere near where you are supposed to be. Okay? So, listen, I am not scared of hard work. So you might need to get a second job. Or you need to downsize. So right off the bat, if 50% of your income is going to some normal house and car type stuff, you driving a G-Wagon because you saw that one video. And you need to be in a Nissan Altima. All right? So, stop. Next, 10% debt repayment. If you are not debt-free, no credit cards, no student loans, no medical bills, no nothing, 10% needs to be going to repay that back. Just gone. Honda Accord. Get out of here. 10%. And 10%, just for the people in the back, just move that decimal point back one. Okay? So if you made $50,000, $5,000 is for your debt repayment. And I know you're going to look at that and be like, oh my goodness, $5,000, that sounds insane. No. You created that debt because you were living beyond your means, because you were living and operating outside of your cash flows already. You did that. Now, student loans, the government did that because why you let my 18-year-old self even take that out? What is you doing? But I digress. It's still debt, and we got to pay it unless you got forgiven. 10%. 10%. This hurts me to even say, but childcare. Okay? I don't know why it costs so much, but if she hits you or he takes somebody lunch, you need to deal with that with the money that you are getting, because I pay you a lot. 10% to childcare. And this is for continued education. This is for high school. This is for whatever tuition that you got to, Jenni, she's so glad that's done. Listen, 10%. If your kids are going to college and you have not set up a 529 plan, knowing that 529 plans can now roll over to a Roth for your kids that you like, I don't know if they're going to college or, these kids is new. They new. They not following the American dream. They like, I'm going to be a TikTok star. And I'm saying, go for it, baby. Generate that income, whatever way you got to get it. But 10%. If you do not have children or are not paying for daycare or are doing public school or anything like that, then that 10% is now going into your savings or reinvestment plan. But 10% is for them kids, all right? And if you say, I don't have to pay childcare, think about everything else you pay for them kids. Keep it at 10%. Because my kid want to go to airtime and launch every 2 days, and that is like $100 a second, because I'm like, wow, we just pay for arcade games, and you supposed to be jumping on a trampoline. Yes, 10% for them kids. 15% for investments and savings. We are maxing out our 401ks. This year it's at $23,000. We are maxing out our Roth contributions. This year it's at $7,000. We are definitely contributing to something for these kids. A 529 plan, a Roth IRA if you have them on payroll through your business. We are contributing. We are making sure that we do not have to work at Walmart after we're done selling our program promises and our offers right now. So that means that if we have a retirement age in place, like some of y'all say, I want to retire by 40. And more power to you. I wish I had that thought 20 years ago. But if you're saying that, you need to know how much money you need to put to the side each year with an average rate of return somewhere between 7 and 10% in order to get the money you will need to live for the rest of your life. Now, if nobody in your family lived past 45, then go ahead and ball out for them 5 years. However, the average year of lifespan has increased every year. So, knowing that, I used to be like, I just need like $1 million, right? That $1 million would be gone and I would need a job in 2 to 3 years, okay? Think about the lifestyle that you want to live in retirement. Think about what it's going to cost. Are you going to move to Florida? Are you going to, where are you going to be? What do you want? Do you want to be able to help your kids out? What? Think about that. What does it look like? What does it take right now on an annual basis to live the lifestyle that you're currently living? Now add a little inflation on that every year. Total that up. Multiply it by the number of years that you will have between your retirement age and your lifespan. Do you have enough in retirement? The answer is no. So your investments and savings plan, 15% of your income. 5% of your income maximum is what I want to see in your high yield savings account. So that's your liquid assets that you could touch whenever you want to, that, you know, the people that's checking their bank account every day, it's already there. That's what I want. I want you to be able to move and shake and not have to, you know, figure out how to wire this account to that account and take this money from a 401k and just deal with the penalty. No, I want you to have some liquid assets. 5% is your nest egg. And then 10% is for luxuries. So those luxuries are those little things. It is that coffee that you're getting every day. Okay. So if that coffee that you're getting every day is 8% of your luxury budget, that means you ain't really got nothing to eat out. You bet not look at a bag. Shoes, you better wear the shoes that you got last year. But if that coffee is 0.25% of your 10% budget, baby, get your coffee. Go get it. Get that latte. Now, this is travel. This is shopping. This is going to be a hard one. Getting your hair, nails, eyebrows arched. That general maintenance stuff that, you know, it's a part of your lifestyle. I know it's a part of mine. That's a luxury. If you are not generating enough money to get to that luxury, your hair nappy. That color to you down to here. It'll grow all the way out. Your nails, learn how to polish them yourself. That budget is the last piece. Oh, this is a key, important guide. I said this in order of importance. So, some of y'all already are looking at that 10% of your income and you're taking that out immediately. Boom, I got my luxuries. No. You only get to luxuries if your home and car is under 50%. If your home and car is 60%, you already erased luxuries. If your home and car is at 65%, you have no nest egg. No liquid funds. If your home and car is at 70%, you barely got anything to invest and save with. So your retirement plan is getting pushed further and further out. Now let's move over to the business. For the business, the first thing I want you to take out is 30% for you. You did this. You created this business. You put the work in for this business. You've lost sleep trying to develop and manage and market and control and client management and customer service. You've done that. Pay yourself. Make sure you are staying motivated in order to be the best employee that you have. You do not want your business to be an afterthought, especially for people who are in full-time entrepreneurship or want to be in full-time entrepreneurship. You can't do it. So 30% to you right off the bat. Now, if you already know that you haven't generated enough money to cover your bills and you have not taken a 30% payout to yourself as of yet, how many times have you regrouped and pivoted? Because right off the bat, if you are not generating enough money to pay the bills in order to run this business, what's your time frame? Are you saying most businesses fail in 5 years, so I got 5 years to try to get it together? Are you saying that, well, my W-2 income has been keeping me afloat, so I'm going to just keep on riding this wave? That's commingling funds. It's commingling thoughts. I don't care if you make $1 million on your W-2. If that business is not generating enough income to sustain the dues and subscriptions and softwares and payroll that you need to even have it running, I'm saying I know your dream of being a business owner is there, but something happened terribly along the way. You've done something operationally. You've done something with your marketing plan. You are committing too much capital before you know who your target market is. You're doing something wrong. So you digress and let that marinate on your own. Book a business consultation so we could talk it through. But I'm telling you right now, you should have 30% to take for yourself right off the bat. You get a $10,000 invoice paid, 30%, $3,000 comes to you immediately. Then taxes. So I've heard all types of things about how much to take out, 10, 20, 30%. I guarantee that anybody who's working with me is going to spend no more than 15% on taxes. Sorry, IRS. You done gave us too much tax code. Tax code book, 10,000 pages, and I'm going to use them all, okay? 15% between your federal and your state and any local agencies is about where I want you to be if you are strategically aligning all of your efforts throughout the year. Meaning, again, going back to the things that you're already paying for, childcare, we go do a dependent care expense on the business, healthcare, we go get a dollar for dollar deduction up to a certain percentage, charitable contributions. It's not going to be an itemized deduction. We're going to do 25% of our gross income from the business. We got things that we're already doing that we're going to strategically align to make sure that we are capping ourselves at 15%. Meaning, if you have a $100,000 business and your tax bracket is technically well over 22%, you're going to be paying less as a business owner. But I digress on my little, I get to talking about taxes and just go. Stop me. But taxes, 15%. Put it to the side. Put it in an account you can't see. Give it to them. There is no rule that say you can't deposit into your IRS account on a regular basis. The IRS will be like, ooh, they pay me every day. Every time they get an invoice. It does not matter. You are required to make some quarterly estimated tax payments if your tax bill is going to be more than $1,000 at the end of the year. But there are no penalties for making payments more often. So whatever you know you need to do, if you need to pay the IRS on a weekly basis because, Lord, you're not going to get this money if I got it for more than a week, do that. If it needs to go into an account that is out of sight, out of mind, that you don't got no debit card to, that you don't log in and see until tax time so you can send it, do that. I am about making things easier for you in the way that you naturally move. Just because I do it a certain way or I have a tax account that I can see and I automatically have money going to my tax account from my gross, whatever, that's my way. And yeah, I can give you the best practices all day, but the first step is doing something sustainable that fits into your lifestyle right now. So having that tax account, however you need to get it set up, is essential. And before I continue, go ahead and share this with somebody that you know is all over the place. Go ahead and tell them, she giving the goods. She's telling us what percentage of our income needs to be in certain categories for personal and business. Going over there and jump in because you're all over the place. I know you are as your friend and I love you and your tax BFF got your back. So go ahead and share it. But back. 10% for an office. Your office space. Up to 12%. 10 to 12%. Okay. I know some of you need more of an office space than others. But I'm talking about a storage space for your materials. I'm talking about a big old warehouse. If you think that you're on that level, I'm talking about a virtual office. Even if you just got a virtual office where you just got your mail coming and you have access to co-working spaces, all of that falls under your office expense. And I give you all of those examples because sometimes you need somewhere to start. It does not mean that it's where you're going to end. So if you started that co-working space and you even start to see clients there, more power to you. Make sure it's less than 12% of your income. If you know that you are going to be, you're going to have glamaholic numbers, right? And you're going to need a warehouse to store all this stuff because you also are going to open up all these flagship stores and all of that good stuff. Yes, my love. Do it once you have the glamaholic crew behind you, okay? She didn't start there. Me and Ray didn't just bust out and be like, you know what? The first thing I'm going to do is get a warehouse. So why are you? Why are you trying to get $100,000 loans and you just started the business and you don't even know if you got a following yet? And by following, I mean the type of people who represent glamaholics like they do, okay? Not the number of followers. Now, of course, she's at the level where they match. But you might have I see people with less than 1,000 followers making more than my people that have 1 million followers. And mind you, somebody with 1 million followers can be generating $10,000 a month just on brands. Easily. Okay? So switch your perspective. I just hit 10K and 20K this year, 2024. Been in business for 10 plus years. So don't get in your own way thinking, I got to get my following up, or I gotta just try to see how many people I can get in front of. No. Engage with the people that you already have. Make sure you understand who you want to be talking to. Keeping it moving. 10% employees and contractors. We all need help, right? And assessing their roles and responsibilities, when to hire, how to fire, all of that good stuff is something you need to do from day one. But hiring needs to increase your productivity. I do not want you starting off with an admin assistant, somebody that's picking up your laundry and dry cleaning, somebody who is doing the data entry part, somebody that's writing all of your copies, somebody that do all the shipping. Baby, you got 2 clients. I'm going to need you to do all of that stuff. I'm going to need you to understand how this business operates. I'm going to need you to have the protocols and the processes and systems in place to make sure that the next person that you hire increases your productivity, increases your bottom line, gets you to the money. But if your employees are eating away, and this I will say, because I do have a few daycare businesses, my daycares, I look at 25%. They are very top heavy when it comes to staff because the number of students you have, it is a staff to student ratio. So it isn't like they could cut corners on their staff. However, if you're in a service-based business, especially 10%. If you are the intellectual property, if your service is what is going to generate the income, 10%. Don't let anybody else eat up the rest of your money. Because either somebody's not carrying their weight or you're not doing what you said you wanted to do. Now, if this is going to be a passive income, if you're not going to be a full-time entrepreneur, if this is something that you just want to, you know you're going to generate the sales and then they take care of everything else and it's a commission-based system, that number may differ. That's not typically where everybody wants to start. We want to run it up as a full-time entrepreneur, having time freedom, increasing our financial freedom, and we want to stay in the pocket. 10%. 7% for investments. This can be investing into the same type of financial institutions that you do with your personal, just from the business. This can be investing into your business. Again, if you do have a t-shirt, this is just the most simplest form of a business, so it's always what comes to mind. But you have a t-shirt. Maybe you don't buy that printing press before you sell your first shirt. But now that you've generated the capital through your revenue, you know that you got 7% that you could put over here to the side for this new tool and equipment, for your warehouse, for your whatever. That investment income is something that is so important on the personal and the business side. There's no reason to have money just in your account. No reason at all. Because if you don't have no money in the account, the bank is charging you. But if you have money in the account, the bank should be running it up. I don't believe in sitting any money anywhere that's not getting some type of interest. So if that 7% is just, again, going to a high yield savings account. Right now, the savings accounts are like 5% in most areas. Go to bankrate.com and see what's going on in your area. These are things that I want you to be thinking about. 3% for debt repayment. Don't run yourself in the hole, okay? But if you got a credit card, you're using it, you're developing business credit. Do it. 3% needs to be for debt repayment no matter what. Right off the bat, every single invoice. You got a $10,000 invoice, 3% debt repayment. 23% is for everything else. Your COGS, your cost of goods sold type of thing, right? Your supplies and materials, your continued education, your legal and professional service, your accountant, any marketing team that you might want to have. All of that stuff. This is the cost of business. 23%. So sometimes you're thinking in terms of, maybe you're looking at mentors, coaching, accountability partners, and you're like, my business has not generated enough money to make that. This is the only time I say where you are and where you want to be need to commingle. Meaning that if you do have the luxury income and the legal and professional service income from your business combined to get that mentor that is going to elevate your business, do it. Okay, now, going back to that, don't break the bank doing anything. Because if you're breaking the bank to try to elevate, it's because you are not anywhere near where you want to be. You have not reached any of your goals on your own. And that's fine, right? You may need some help. But I want you to focus on what you can do right now yourself. Can you assess where your clients are coming from? Can you assess where you are generating the most leads from? Do that. Those are the simple tactics and techniques that a marketing and ad agency will run it up on you trying to determine. Have those numbers for yourself. Be able to make sure that you get, you know what you got. You know you got a proven promise. You know you are going to be able to deliver on whatever your service is. You know that your product is top-notch quality and exactly as advertised. You know that you are talking specifically to the people that need you. Now, recap. Daily, I want you having notifications. I want you to see what the heck is coming out of my account on a regular basis in real time. I want you to be encouraged, motivated, and on your toes by the number of cha-chings of income coming into your account. Again, if you are selling low ticket items, your phone about to die every day. However, if it don't die, maybe it's time to regroup. But if you're selling high ticket, knowing that your efforts, your business development, the structure and systems and process that you have in place, the regrouping and the pivoting that you've done over the last week, month, year are actually operating in excellence, and you got somebody that bought in, it's time to take that money, look at that money coming to that account and say, where did that person come from? How long did I have to talk to them before that lead turned into a sale? What is the customer profile of this particular sale? I want you thinking about it that often. Monthly goals make way for your annual, right? So if you know you want to make $100,000 this year, and I'm going to make it 120 so I can use even numbers. You want to make $120,000 this year. You need to generate $10,000 per month. What is this? Is May 1st. Did you make any money today? Are we going to check in at the end of the week and see if you are $2,500 of that $10,000 for the month? Are you going to do that check-in? If you even thought about it, I'm checking you. Do that check-in. It's time to stop looking at it on a quarterly or annual basis. I want you looking at it throughout the month. So weekly check-in is just saying, am I anywhere near where I need to be benchmark-wise, where I want to be overall for the year, where I want to be overall for this particular month? A lot of you operate in the spring and summer sessions. Those are your busy seasons. You're going into your busy season. Do you want to operate in a space of, during busy season, I want to generate 50 to 60% of my total income for the year? So maybe that 120 is now, instead of $10,000 a month, it's $20,000 a month that you need to generate throughout busy season. Check in. How far off are you? Do you know how many clients it will take to get to that number? That's one of the simplest things that people just don't even think about. They say, man, shit, I'm just trying to make 100,000. Okay. Well, how many clients will that take? What services will you have to offer? What type of people will you be talking to? Some of you just thought about that $100,000 number and divided it by the average sale of $20. And you said, dang, I need a whole bunch of clients. And now you're like, well, maybe I just want to make 60. Or maybe you need to regroup and think about your pricing structure. Maybe your price has been the wrong price all along. Budgeting in percentages. Thinking about who your target market is and making those customer profiles. Completely pivoting and regrouping on a regular basis every day, every week, every month to get to your projections for the year. Knowing how to properly price. Paying yourself. Profit first. 30% off top. Not commingling funds. Making sure your taxes are set to the side. I'm just telling you the rundown of all of the procedures and tactics to get to who you want to become. You want to be someone that can pay Uncle Sam so easily because you already set it to the side. You want to be someone that is not bogged down by their expenses. You want to be somebody that's living in abundance. You want to be somebody that's a boss, right? You are able to delegate. You got a staff that got your back. You have time freedom. So if you want to take a month off and travel the world, you can. You want to be someone that's already got their retirement set up. So you're not thinking about, oh my goodness, I'm going to be working forever. Oh my goodness, I hope I hit the lotto tomorrow. You want to be somebody that feels in control, right? But doesn't spend too much time just dealing with their finances. Like finances, accounting, math, all of that stuff. When I talk to some of my clients, they just like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. You're talking over my head. You're talking crazy. I don't know what you're saying. And you want to be a person that is like, boom, I see my cash flows. I see my profit. I know I'm hitting my numbers. My profit margin is going up. My taxes are going down. This is the mindset shift that all of this is for. The entire premise of Motivated Money Systems, my coaching program, is for businesses to get to the next level. I want to cut your tax bill in half by next year. I want to increase your profit margin by 30%. And I want to do so by not increasing the number of clients that you have. I don't want to make you work harder. I don't want to make you hire immediately. I don't want you to say, hey, you ain't doing enough. I want to take the data that you already have generated. You already know what you can make. You already know what you've done over the last year or two in business. I want to look at it, evaluate it, and teach you how to make sure you are not overspending in taxes. I want to put more money in your pocket. It's as simple as that. So when I talk about these plug and play things that I have built out, these are all things that people in my coaching program automatically get. I'm going to be offering them separately, but I want you to know that in order to take a hold of your finances and really know how to check in, number one, you got to look at them. And number two, you got to know what you're looking for. So you're checking your account daily just to make sure that same money is still there. That's not a growth strategy. That's not even evaluating what came in or what went out. That's just seeing that the same money from yesterday is today. It's seeing that you've been able to sustain. And sustain is comfort. It's an inability to change. Sustain for me is not the greatest of words. Unless it's sustain or fail, right? Sustain is saying, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be okay. I just want to stay in this space. And I'm saying it's time to change. A shift is happening. Your access to me did not come by mistake. You didn't click follow. You didn't click on this live by mistake. You know you need to check your finances. You know you all over the place. You know you're making money. And you want to know the cheat code. And I'm like, okay, come get it. Come get it. So I want you to take in everything that I said. The daily, the weekly, the monthly check-ins, the annual projections broken down by when you are actually generating the most of your income. It doesn't have to be broken down equally by all 12 months. If you know you want to take your birthday month off, that's zero, right? Or that's your passive income coming into play. If you know you only operate during a specific season, then you got to run it up in that season. Taking a look at your personal budget and your business budget. Key takeaways. Personal budget, 50% is for living. Your house, your car, your groceries, your utilities, your insurance. 50. That's it. Do not exceed 50%. 30% of your business income needs to be coming to you immediately. Immediately. Run me my money for starting this company and growing it and doing everything in business development and strategy. Run me my money company. Stay motivated in making money. If every month you're generating income and you just see it going out, and in your mind you're like, well, I'm reinvesting into the business, you will hit a wall. Because at some point, that reinvestment into the business, especially if you don't do it strategically, is going to cost you more on tax side. We'll talk more about that in another one. But I say all this to say, it is so important for you to check in with where you currently are and paint the picture of who you want to be. Those people need to align in some ways. If you are currently living with someone, running your side hustle, trying to stack your W-2 income, you got a deadline of when you want to quit, you already know that you're keeping your same car from the last 5 years because look, it's paid off and you are in grind season, and you know this, right? But you've been in that space for 5 years and you ain't saved enough, you haven't invested enough, you haven't shifted enough yet. It's time to do something different. So I can't leave without leaving this offer, but I want you to comment, DM, Motivated if you want to hear more information about the coaching program. Motivated Money Systems is just recapping everything that we did, but step-by-step plug and play. I want to take the guess game out of understanding your finances. I want to make sure that financial literacy are at the top of your mind and not the back. I want to make sure we increase your cash flows, increase your bottom line, and we will cut your tax bill in half immediately. This next tax season, you'll be like, wow, strategy works. My tax BFF told me. So if any of that is, you are definitely, look, I think I have a question. Can you still deduct credit card debt? Oh, that was a good question. I'm so glad I clicked on that. I didn't even see that question. Can you deduct credit card debt? Yes and no. Credit card interest is deductible. What you do on that credit card must fit into a deduction. You cannot deduct debt. Just, I'm paying off, $10,000 in credit card debt that I ran up last year. No. However, if you got $10,000 for this last credit card statement, and in that $10,000, you were able to buy some supplies for your business, you paid for some advertising, you bought my coaching program, all of those things are deductible. So we could take your credit card statements in order to take the deductions off of it. But if you're just throwing $10,000, $5,000 at some debt that you ran up from last year, it's not deductible. Interest, which is one of the ways the government be trying to keep their thumb on us, interest is deductible. Just like your entire mortgage payment is not deductible, but your mortgage interest is deductible. Your property taxes are deductible. So if you did generate a ton of interest from a credit card that you were using for business, you can write that interest off. But if you're paying back some old debt that you generated a long time ago, you can't deduct that. I hope that helped. I probably went above and beyond on that question, but I love questions. But like I said, talk to me. If you have any other questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. But I definitely want you to start to think about your finances on a personal and a business level. And I'll end with how I began. If your personal finances are all over the place, you what is it called? You begging from Peter to pay Paul, or stealing from Peter to pay Paul, however that statement goes. That's your current mindset for your personal income and your personal bills. I'm telling you now, you will not elevate in business. You don't just get good at finances. You don't just get good at having an organized accounting system. You don't just start a budget and stick to it day one, right? These are things that come with information, education, implementation. So first you got to know what you don't know, right? So that was a great question. But if you thinking, I'm going to write off this $10,000 credit card debt, and then tax time coming, I say, well, that credit card debt was from 2022. That's not a write-off. You now have just increased your overall income by $10,000. So for the entire year, you're budgeting for a tax bill of $500, and I just gave you a tax bill for $5,500, depending on your income level. So knowing what's deductible, understanding what you're already doing that you can be shifting over to the business in order to get a larger deduction. Understanding your cash flows. When is money coming in? When is money going out? Another person that I will immediately change your life. If you look at your bank statement and you see it's a whole bunch of overdraft fees, cash flow issues. You are not collecting on your invoices in time for those bills to go out. This could be simple as a call, though. This could be, hey, I need to change my billing date from the 1st to the 15th. My clients pay on the 13th. I can get y'all paid on the 15th. Y'all taking it out on the 1st and my clients pay on the 13th. I'm incurring the bill every time. Cash flows. But this also may be something as simple as you're living outside of your means. Your office space is more than 12% of your business income. Your employees and contractor payroll is more than 10% of your income. So of course you got stuff going out before you got it coming in. All right. So I'm assuming we have no more questions, so I'm going to stop here. But I want you to drop motivated in the comments. DM me motivated if you would like more information about coaching. And this is for my business owners who have been in business at least 2 years. You've generated at least $60,000. You have some road to being a full-time entrepreneur or making this a big part of your overall income for your family. These are the people that I will change your life in the next 6 months. We will cut your tax bill in half. We will increase your profit margin. These are things that are going to happen guaranteed. So if that is where you are right now, financial literacy, understanding what is deductible and how to strategically align what you're already doing with saving on taxes, if that is speaking to you, holla at your girl. All right. So I love you guys. Also, DM me, comment, and let's figure out how we can make this mutually beneficial for all of us. Alrighty, have a great day. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ask Jenni. Ask Jenni has been in the works since 2016. I have started tax team services, developed coaching programs for small business owners and tax professionals, and I've even started a podcast with my husband, Finding Love. You can follow me on Jenni L. Hendricks on all platforms. But before you leave, like, comment, subscribe, and ask Jenni anything. I'm here to talk to you more about business, life, love, and all things growth.